Okay, once you have both lineups inputted into the system, please make sure to double check, triple check, make sure that everyone is in the correct order as well as playing the correct position. Both home and away, double check the lineup cards. Once they look good, you could go ahead and press save. And this is the home screen to start a game. As you can see, it has both teams listed, so make sure that home and away is correct, as well as everyone is in the correct position on the main screen. As you can see in the bottom left where it says 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, that is our clock. We run a 2-hour time limit, so as soon as that first pitch is thrown is when the clock starts. For the purpose of this, I will be following a college baseball game. You might be able to hear it in the background, and I will be keeping score. Here we go.
And welcome in to a bright, sunny Doug Kingsmore Stadium. I know it's not quite a full crowd, but a sellout crowd of 1,280 here at Doug Kingsmore Stadium. Marty, the Butterflies trying to calm down in your debut. How difficult is that going to be for Olenchuk this afternoon?
Well, you have to watch it, right? Sometimes you can overthrow because you're so excited, the adrenaline's flowing, and that's something you need to watch. If you get through of an inning or two, everything tends to settle down, but you want to try and just breathe, relax, and go back to what you've always done, just throw strikes.
Here's Joey Bellini to start us off, and Olenchuk deals up and in. Ball one, first pitch at 3:03 this afternoon. Beautiful sunny skies, not a cloud in the sky today. That ball's hit in the air, foul.
And he's throwing low 90s, and you can see just a little bit behind the pitcher's velocity right now, and that's going to probably be the tail of the tail for a while till they get a groove going on and see live pitching.
So, like you heard, he's throwing low 90s. I know I put 84, 83. Once you have the radar gun in front of you, that'll stay locked and calculate every pitch, so you won't have to worry and hold the gun up for every speed. As you can see, how you put in the count, this is how you calculate each pitch. He just threw a slider that was probably about 75 for a ball. As you can see through this, it gives you a variety of pitches from fastball, curveball, slider, change, knuckleball, others for any other pitch, and then of course balk. Balk could be a big one. It means no pitch in a sense. So he just fouled off a 93-mile-an-hour fastball. So especially with 2 strikes, you want to make sure if the player fouls it off, make sure to put foul because it will add to his pitch count. Down below, you can see who's pitching and who's at bat. Please make sure that is always correct. You need to keep an eye on that as well. And he just struck out on a fastball down and out. So since he struck out looking, we have a called strike and we have a swinging strike. He struck out looking, so I'm going to put called strike. Now the strike type comes up. Normal, which is what happened. He didn't swing. Catcher caught it clearly and threw it around. There's a drop third, which means that the batter reached on base. It might have gotten to the backstop, or drop third. The batter was out. The catcher threw it down to first base. In this case, it was a normal strikeout, so we just put normal. As you can see, we have 1 out. The next batter swung at the first pitch. It was a pop-up to short. So I'm going to put fastball at 91. We are going to go with out. It shows you all the different types of outs. He was a pop out to short, so we're going to click pop. As you can see, all the fielders, all these gloves move. As you can see, I hit it to left, but I'm going to press the undo button down below. Okay. And I'm going to make sure that I drag it over to the shortstop. That's where he caught it. And then the PO means put out. So you press put out. And then you press end play. So now we got 2 outs with the third hitter up. As you can see, it's a running clock in the bottom left. You can see Arroyo has thrown 7 pitches already. You can see there's 2 outs. The next batter has already thrown 2 pitches, and it's a 1-1 count. So we're going to go 90 fastball foul. as well as a slider low for 74, and it was a ball. So, as you can see, it's pretty difficult when you don't have the iPad with you at hand, but it helps when you're just practicing scoring a game. That was a changeup. That was probably about 82, low and out, so that was a ball. 2-1 count to the hitter. Foul ball. And as you can see, when a pitcher is consistent with his velocity, you could see that it'll stay in that range. So since this guy's been in the 90s range, it'll give the 90 variables. If he starts to decrease in velocity, you could obviously just scroll and go down all the way to whatever he's thrown. Goes all the way up to 105. So that next pitch was a fly out to center. So just like it was the pop, we're going to go out. We're going to go fly. Same type of deal. All the positions are out there. You can move the gloves. This one was short to center. Center fielder called it, and you're going to hit in play. As you can see, it's the bottom of the first now. Again, just make sure the right pitcher is on the mound as well as the right hitter is coming up. I'm going to fast forward this a little bit. So the first pitch was a strike. Let's say it was about 86. First strike called, as well as a 87 foul ball. Now, right now I'm watching a college game, so it's a little quicker pace. That was a fastball. I will say, once you're at the game watching live, the games do tend to move more quickly than how you would score the game. So be patient with yourself. If you start to catch yourself lagging behind, grab a piece of paper and pen and just write what is happening on the side as if it was you're calculating on the iPad. Pitch speed, pitch type, as well as fastball, ball or strike. So he threw a curveball on that one. I'm going to go back. And that was for a ball. So the next pitch was a curveball. That was a fair ball. He hit a double down the third base line. So I'm going to show you how to do that. That was a curveball. So if a batter gets on, you're going to click on base. Now then, it all varies on the type of hit. Was it a ground ball, a line drive, a pop-up, a fly, or a bunt? There's also catcher's interference, umpire interference, go to first, or hit by pitch. Here it was a ground ball, and as you can see, it shows all the types of hit results as single, double, triple, home run, grand rule double, inside the park home run, as well as an error. So it was a double for him. So we're going to, as you can see, Jay Allen had already moved to second. You could also move him like this. Was he safe and he advanced to third? Was he out at second on the throw? He was safe, so we're going to put runners complete. Next, we're going to show where the ball was hit exactly. It was hit down the left field line, so I'm going to move the left fielder down the line. And as you can see, the ball followed. After that, you're just going to click end play, and the next batter is up. Okay, cool. So in this situation, he had a ground ball to second. So we're going to put into play. It was a fastball. We'll say 85. Now, he was out. Okay, so we're going to click out, and we're going to click ground because it was a ground ball. As you can see, Jay Allen is stuck in between second and third. So you got to pay attention on where he ends up. In this situation, he advanced to third. So we're going to move him to third and put him on safe. The runners look complete here because Jay Callahan was out. So we're going to click runners complete and show what happened on the play. It was a ground ball to second, and he threw it to first for the put out. And we're going to click end play. The next at bat, the batter swung first pitch. So it was a fastball at 84. he was also out on another ground ball to second. So we're going to put out, grounder. As you can see, Jay Allen stuck between third and home. He ended up scoring, so we're going to mark him safe. Runners complete. Ground ball to second, same thing. Throw it over to first for the putout, and we click end play. Next batter, first pitch again on a curveball, on in. He was out. He actually lined out to the shortstop. As you can see, he's already been marked out. Just press shortstop and end play. There you could see that we finished the first inning, and we'll be heading to the top. Now, in some instances, the coach will run down to you and make sure that you guys are on the same page with the pitch count for the pitcher. So in this case, Arroyo is at 12 pitches. I will say, whatever the coach has is incorrect. We always go off of what we have. And in this instance, for the purpose of the video, I'm going to show you how to do a pitching change. So the home team is in the field. There are two ways you could do it. I recommend going to the home team's roster. As you can see, we have the whole home team. Now, we do have a designated hitter. So in this instance, we could do one of two things. If the designated hitter is coming into the game to pitch, or another fielder is coming in to pitch, they just lose the DH, and they will still be hitting everyone that they started the game with, as well as keeping the same order. Now, if someone is coming off the bench to pitch, you will click sub. You will find who is going into pitch. We will say Baez, and we will say OK. As you can see, Baez is now pitching. We will go back over to the game, and you will see in the bottom right-hand corner that Jay Baez is now on the mound. Now, for a hitter, if we want to make a hitting change, a pinch hitter, the same thing, one of two things. Go to the visiting roster. You could click and see who's going to hit next. We could go to sub, and we can input who will be hitting for that person. As well as switch positions. Say Chris Taylor and Corey Seager want to switch positions. The coach had them switch. You will press swap, and this is the whole lineup, and you will go and see who they are switching for. So we said Seager. So Seager and Infante will be switching, or Seager and Taylor will be switching. And as you can see, third base and second base switched. So that is how you make changes to the lineup. We are going to go back to the scoring, and we are going to score the remainder of this game. I will show you how to do each individual thing, as well as, a little extra that you could run into. So, we will do fastball. We'll say he threw 77. For a hit by pitch, if a kid got hit by pitch, you would just put the type of pitch, the speed, and hit by pitch. Nothing else. You can see that he got on base. From there, the next batter will come up. Now, if Infante steals, you will, depending on if he steals before the pitch or during the pitch. We'll say he stole during the pitch. So you will put the pitch in first. So say it was a hit and run type of situation. So we'll say Taylor swung and missed. So you put the pitch in first, and then you will move Infante and drag him over to the next base. So same thing, you can see that he's safe or out. He was safe. And it'll come up, how did he get there? Was it a stolen base? Sorry about that. We'll go back. So we will show that it was a stolen base. So it comes up with different types of ways he's advanced. Was it a stolen base, a wild pitch, a pass ball, an advance on throw, an obstruction, fielding error, or other? In this situation, it was a stolen base, so he was safe there. Next pitch, we shall say he got on base, and we say he hit a double to the wall. There, okay, so as you can see, even though Infante was on second, it didn't show that he had scored. Make sure you pay attention to tell if the runner scored or not. In this situation, we will say the runner scored. So right there, we will mark him safe at home. Runner's complete. Taylor's at second. Infante scored. Runner's complete. Next step is where was the ball hit? Right field. You could also show where if he hit the cut or if he threw it to, so he threw it to second and then threw it to short. He was safe, and you could end play there. In the next situation, I will show you a way that he gets thrown out. So we'll say that, Taylor tried to advance before the throw. So he went to third, but he was out. Now, was he picked off, caught stealing, or other? In this instance, he was caught stealing, trying to get to third. So that's how you would mark him out. So it's the same deal, was it a swing and strike? We'll throw some other pitches in there. We'll say that was a ball, Obviously, as the game goes, you'll start to get a hang of it, foul ball, as well as, what you'll start to get a feel for it. We'll say he laid down a bunt. Same deal, all the type of hit results. It was a single. Runner's complete. Catcher got it right out front of the bag. Right there. All right. Next, we'll say for this instance that the pitcher had balked. Like I said prior, there's no pitch, so you will just press the PG circle and then balk, and the runner will advance. No pitch was thrown. As you can see, it was not added to his pitch count, there as well as there's no count to begin with. Okay, still have the same hitter up, still have the same pitcher on the mound. We'll say he threw a curveball, and we shall say that he had a line error. We'll say fielder's choice. With fielder's choice, you can see that the runner was on. Okay, and we'll say it was Corey Seager tried to come all the way home, but he was out. So we'll show that he was out. Runner's complete. This ball was hit to the shortstop, who made an error fielding, right? But then threw it home to get the runner out at home. Right then and there, we will put end play, and that is the end of the play. So we'll say Javi Baez. We'll say swing and miss, but the ball got away from the catcher. We'll send Yu Darvish up to second. How did he get there? We'll say wild pitch. And now we'll go into the system. Okay? Now say, if you believe it was actually a pass ball instead of a wild pitch, at the top right, you'll see the reverse arrow, undo, and it'll send him back. The pitch was still thrown. You could just send Yu Darvish back right there, and we'll press pass ball this time. Okay? Next, we'll go fastball. We'll say he was out for a fly. Now say Yu Darvish tagged. There's 2 outs. So this will be the third out. As you can see, it was a put out and end play. Now we are in the bottom half of the inning. The next way I will show you how to make a pitching change. You could go to the bottom right where it says pitching K. Hernandez. You could click on his name. You could either sub a pitcher in or swap from someone in the field. In this instance, we will swap from the field, and it'll come up with the whole roster of who's in the game already. We will say Jay Peterson will go in a pitch. Okay. And he will now become the pitcher. Now, if you go to the away team roster, you will see that there is still a designated hitter. But now, the pitcher Kiki Hernandez, who was pitching prior, is now playing center field, but still will not be hitting. Now you have to make sure when a coach takes that player out, is he staying in the game or being taken out fully? If the instance is that Hernandez comes out of the game completely, what you need to do is first make the designated hitter the pitcher, Jock Peterson, which will kill the DH. So now you see there's no DH in the lineup. Okay? Then from there you will go back and put in the correct pitcher. So it's Peterson pitching, and you will still have no one DHing, and you just want to make sure that everyone is continuing to play the right, correct positions. Okay? So as you can see, Jock is still on the mound. We have no DH, 1-1 game in the bottom of the second. Same thing for a hitter. If you want to make a pinch hitter, you could click on the batter, pinch hitter, or skip batter. There might be an instance where, they don't realize and they bat out of order. You just keep the game going. You don't say anything. You just let the at-bat play as is. So we're going to go pinch hitter. We'll say Arroyo came back in to hit. Okay, now if you go to the home team's roster, down below, as you can see, it says that Baez will not be hitting. He's still the pitcher, and Edwin Arroyo is now the designated hitter. So we're going to throw a few pitches. We'll work a full count here. As you can see, this has been a 7-pitch at bat, and every time he fouls, it'll add to the pitch count. So he just walked. Now he is on first base. Next, we will show a home run. So he was on base, and he hit a fly ball, which went over the fence, which is a home run. So as you can see, both batters scored, and the top arrows will just tell you where that ball was hit. So we will say dead center, and the ball flies out. Score has changed, and the next batter is up. If you click the 3 buttons to the left, you will see exit game. In a way, you could see it says game can be picked up later. It's just a pause game. End game, that means the game has completely finished, and you will be advancing back to your dashboard. End game, or end inning, which is just that half inning. So since we are in the bottom of the second, if I click end inning, end a half inning. Are you sure you want to end this half inning and start the next? Okay. It'll take you right to the top of the inning, or the next half inning. So bottom of the second, you're in the top. If you're in the top, it'll take you to the bottom. Go back. You can do skip batter, so that will just skip the batter at hand. So we have Forsythe hitting. If we skip him, we will get Bellinger up next. Now, in this instance, when you're paying attention to see who's up, and you have the wrong batter up in DiamondKast, just make sure that you always have the correct hitter. And then if in that instance you don't have the right hitter up, you can skip until you get to the correct hitter. So we'll say we have June up. Same with that. We have the delay of game. That's if rain or anything in this instance, injury, an objection of the coach, whatever the case may be. If you need to delay the time, it'll pause the time. As well as the pause button in the left-hand corner, it'll pause the time. We only pause time for rain when the kids come off the field, and if in your judgment you feel the game should be paused. Other than that, it should be a running clock. So we're going to get the game going. Another thing at the top of the screen, if you look in the top right-hand corner, This gives you the game info on the pitches thrown. So as you can see each player's name, his pitch count, how many pitches he's thrown. So when the coach comes up in between the innings and asks how many pitches his kid has thrown, you can click that button and you'll be able to see how many pitches he's thrown. For this instance, I'm going to just show you how a tie game would occur. So I'm going to put someone on for the purpose of this. Single up the middle and play. And we will say Henderson hits a ground rule double right there. As you can see, runners are complete. We'll say he advanced home, but he can't because there's a ground rule double, so you'll move him back. Runners complete. We'll say it was hit to left. Boom. So now we have no outs, runners on second and third. Say he throws a split fastball. You will put that as other. You'll put that as speed. You could put out. And in this instance, with less than 2 outs, we have a sac fly and a sac bunt option. So in this instance, we'll put sac fly because he'll receive the RBI as well as it won't record an at bat. Runners complete. It was hit to right and he threw it home, but he was safe, and play. Okay. Now in this instance, I'll kind of show a drop third strike. So we'll say fastball called strike. Say curve ball for a ball, as well as 2 fastballs for a strike. Swinging, and we'll say 1 more foul ball. We'll go curveball, say it was in the dirt, and he swung and missed. Now first base is occupied, or is not occupied, my mistake. First base is not occupied, so he can run on a drop third strike. We will say that the batter reached. Was it a wild pitch or a fastball? Pass ball. In this instance, we'll say it was a pass ball. And we'll say the runner did advance home. And we'll say Infante did advance to second because they tried to get the runner at home. Runner's complete. It went back right to the catcher and play. So as you can see, we have a tie game in the top of the third. For the purpose of the video, I am just going to get to the end of the game so I can show you how the tiebreaker works. So we are now going into the bottom of the 7th. Still a tie game. We'll say that they get all 3 outs. And that half inning. Okay, so when it's pool play or first round of playoffs, we do not play extra innings. Pool play, it can end in a tie. Once we get to playoffs, we obviously need a winner, so we go into international tiebreaker. With that being said, if it's a tie game and you reach the top of the 8th inning, you will go and you will press tiebreaker. We will then enter OK, tiebreaker mode. As you can see, our tiebreaker mode, it should be bases loaded, 1 out. I know it says no outs, but the rule is 1 out. Bases loaded, 1 out. The coaches will put the last 3 batters of the previous inning on base, and the batter that leads off the inning was supposed to be the batter that was supposed to lead off the inning. Should be 1 out. Just imagine there's 1 out. And they have the chance to score as many runs as possible before recording those 3 outs. So we'll say that he grounded into a double play. We'll say this runner scored. The runner at third was safe, but the runner at second was out. We'll click runners complete. We'll say it was a ball hit to short. And as you can see, double play is right to the right of you. You'll click double play. And you will press on he went to boop. There's a put out there. And you will go throw it back to first. And there's a put out there. And play. And as you can see, 2 outs have been added. We will then say the next guy just flew out. And that's the end of the half inning. Then once the home team comes up, same deal, bases loaded, 1 out. I know it reads no outs, but there will be 1 out. And last 3 batters from the previous inning, and the batter leading off should be the same batter that was supposed to lead off. In this instance, we will say that we hit a home run to win the game. Just show where it was hit, right field. And as you can see, the game will not end automatically unless you end it automatically. So to end the game automatically, like I said, you will press the 3 buttons in the top left. End game. Here you will see who you could put in the winning pitcher, which you must do. So we will say it was Josh Baez, as well as the losing pitcher, we'll say Jock Peterson. The save does not matter as much, and you will just press finalize game. Please make sure before you do anything else that you finalize the game, and then from there it'll take you right back to your dashboard. Thank you for watching the DiamondKast training videos. If you have any questions or concerns, please reach out to me, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you.